Hi you guys, sorry it's been so long. I've been really busy with the happy tummy. If you didn't know, I also work and go to school, so I've got a lot on my plate as it is. But tonight, I wanted to talk to you about drinking and socializing and partying with irritable bowel syndrome. So, cheers, I've got myself a glass of wine in the spirit of this video. So let's get on with it. I guess what sparked the video this week is I was looking through blog post questions, just any other sort of posts on support groups, all that, and it seems that there's a pattern of people with IBS not socializing, not going to parties, not doing things that they wish they could do because they either are having a flare or are worried about having a flare when they get there. And that just sucks because, you deserve to have fun just as much as anybody else. And what concerns me is that, if you have a flare, you can't go out. But not going out because you're afraid of having a flare, that's not good because, that's anxiety and that's, worrying about things. You shouldn't worry about things before they happen. And I know it's really hard because a lot of us with IBS, myself included, have anxiety, but sometimes you just have to go with the flow and do what you want to do. Take risks. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. Take a risk. Go to a party that you wouldn't normally go to. Go hang out with your friends, and have some fun. Don't let IBS ruin your life. So I compiled a few tips and tricks for you here that'll make going out and socializing a little bit easier. I hope. So the first one is, if you can or are willing to avoid alcohol, do so. I'm just going to leave it at that. Alcohol causes flares. If you are going to take a risk drinking, then you are taking a risk of having a flare. So there you go. So you've chosen to drink. Now what are you going to drink? That makes a difference. Beer is something that I don't recommend because it makes me flare. I mean, even if I have one Blue Moon with an orange is one of my favorite beers. If I have one of those, I immediately feel bloated and gassy. It's just something that I can't handle. But I've also noticed that I'm not the only one. That it seems to be something that bothers everybody, not even just IBS sufferers. Everyone feels bloated from beer. To avoid the bloat, don't drink it. So if you're not going to have beer, what else is there? I choose wine. Red wine is something that if you only have one glass, it has health benefits. But, let's be real here. Do you ever just have one? It tastes good. I like it. It's gluten-free. Beer isn't. So, that's what I drink. Something else that you could drink is a clear liquor. Examples would be vodka, gin, anything that you can see through. And those are best to stick to because anything that's clear is going to give you less of a hangover. Less of a hangover means hopefully less of a flare the next day or that night. Usually mine are the next day if I have one. So that leads me to the next tip, which is, alright, you chose not to have wine, you're going to have vodka. What do you mix it with? Pick your mixers really carefully. I advise you to avoid soda pop at all costs. And I'm not even talking about diet or regular, it's not even the sugar that concerns me, it's the bubbles, the carbonation in it. Because that's just adding extra bubbles to your belly that wouldn't normally be there, and that's asking for gas. And gas is something that, whether you have IBS A, C, or D, it's going to make it worse. And you're more likely to have a flare if you're gassy. So avoid soda if you can. Something that would be good to mix with vodka, would be cranberry juice or orange juice or even water. Water, I don't like vodka and water. I think that's really gross because I don't like the taste of vodka. But if you're going to order vodka and cranberry juice, now we're getting into the sugar thing. Sugar can cause a flare. So I would make sure to order regular cranberry juice, not cranberry juice cocktail. And most bars will have this. so just make sure you ask. You can always just order your liquor on the rocks and sip it. Which leads me to the next point. If you're going to a party, you don't always have control over what the person, the host or hostess is serving. So whenever you can, bring your own. And, most hosts are down with this. It's bring your own booze, that's perfect. But in the case where the host says, no, I'm providing everything, if they're offended because you brought what you can have and isn't going to cause a flare, then that's their problem. Because your friend, hopefully, is who's hosting the party. You know this person, so hopefully they understand. And if they don't, then that's somebody that you don't need to be associating yourself with. If, you want to be hanging out with people who understand your problem and who are sympathetic, they may not be empathetic towards you, but at least sympathetic, and understand that, you can't drink the same thing that everybody can. You can't have a shot, you can't have beer, whatever that is. So you bring yourself a bottle of wine, that's fine. Hopefully they won't be offended. Alright, so next tip. Food. If you're at a bar, bar food is probably not going to be something that you want to eat. Loaded with trigger foods, buffalo wings, potato skin, spinach dip, all of that. So what I would do is eat before I go to a bar. Make sure I'm full so that I'm not hungry when I get there. Simple as that. Self-control is really the key here, But if you have IBS, you probably already practice self-control because you can't eat anything anyways. So that shouldn't be too hard for you. Now if you're at a party, bring your own snacks because you can. Bring your own, gluten-free crackers to have with the cheese. Bring even something that you can share with everybody, and that's great because then you look like a hero. Look, I brought my own spinach dip, for instance. They don't have to know that there's tofu cream cheese instead of regular cream cheese. They would never know anyway, so just don't tell them. Which leads me to my next tip. Host your own party. That way you get to be social, and you get to pick the liquor, you get to pick the snacks, and you can make things that are healthy for you, and then things that are good for them too, so that they, don't feel like they're eating gluten-free everything, and everyone is happy. If you don't, have your own place, or you're not able to do this, I understand, but that's something that hopefully in the future you will be able to do. I live with my boyfriend now, so he's super social, and I'm not always social, so sometimes we get into it about it. But, I like to host parties because it's fun for me getting to make all the food and everything. And like I said, I don't tell anybody that it's health food. They eat it and they're like, oh, this is so good. It must be, so bad for me. Nope, it's not. You're going home bellyache free. But that's just me. So, I hope these tips helped. If you do have a flare, the best advice that I can offer is, to be honest. Let the host of the party know what's going on. Hopefully you didn't drink too much. In that case, you can go home if you're able to, get out of the bathroom and drive. Which you couldn't do if you drank too much. Remember, think about that. And then, what I always do is I bring things with me that will help out in a flare. For instance, I bring Charmin wet wipes with me. Sometimes I'll even have toilet paper, if I'm outside, like at a bonfire type situation and there isn't a bathroom, I always have it in my car. Bring some Febreze, pack some Imodium AD if that's what you need, or even a pair of extra underwear, just in case, whatever is going to make you feel more secure. Because, a lot of it is anxiety. I know a lot of us don't want to admit that stress impacts our flares, but for most of us, it really does. So if you feel like you are all set, that if I get diarrhea, I've got Imodium AD, I'm fine, you're not going to have it, because you're not going to be worried about it. So, those are the best tips that I can offer you. I really hope that you go out there, and if you're invited to a birthday party, you go to it. If you, your friend asks you to go to the bar, you go. Just, don't sit at home feeling sorry for yourself, because that's only going to make you feel worse. Even if you have a slight tummy ache or headache, go out and, have a little fun, and I promise you'll feel better. So basically, I'm just trying to say, have fun. Go out and have fun. Don't let your IBS rule your life, because I don't let it run mine. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, nomoorebellyaches.com. There are no spaces in that. And, feel free to ask me any questions. I will always answer them. So I hope your tummies are happy today, and I'll see you later. Bye!